body discovered with 28 syringe marks. And that's only one of the chilling mysteries hidden behind the dazzling world of K-pop. They were young, talented, and adored by millions, lighting up every stage they touched, yet they vanished suddenly, leaving behind questions that still haunt fans today. In this video, we uncover 10 stories that are far more than just headlines. These are tales of unfinished dreams, silent cries for help, and the deep impact they left on the LGBTQ+ community. Stories the media never fully told. Stay with us, because sometimes the most painful truths lie just beyond the moment when the spotlight fades. In the glamorous world of K-pop, where perfection is polished and flaws are hidden behind the spotlight, few artists can break through the glitz. Kim JONG-HYUN, or JONG-HYUN, is one of them. As the main vocalist of SHIM, he is more than just a pop idol. He is a poet in a glittering suit, a storyteller whose songs carry a raw intimacy that millions can feel deep in their bones. Since his debut in 2008, JONG-HYUN's artistry has transcended the genre. His voice is both sweet and soulful, capable of soaring with joy and touching painful wounds. For his fans, especially those in the LGBTQ+ community, he doesn't just sing tunes, he conveys emotions that many have never dared to put into words. What sets him apart isn't just his music, but his willingness to stand up for those who often feel invisible. In 2013, he quietly changed his social media profile photo to a handwritten message from a bisexual college student protesting discrimination in South Korea. Alongside it, he wrote, "Different doesn't mean wrong." It was a simple act, but in the conservative entertainment landscape, it felt like a glimmer of light in the darkness. For LGBTQ+ fans, that glimmer of light meant everything. Here was a superstar beloved across Asia, saying without hesitation, "Your existence is valid." His songs reflect that courage. In songs like End of the Day and Breathe, JONG-HYUN weaved stories of exhaustion, loneliness, and the fragile hope that kept people going. He wrote not to chase chart trends, but to connect. And for many queer listeners looking for empathy in a world that didn't fully embrace them, his songs were a refuge. Yet, even as he poured his heart into his music, Jong carried a burden that few could see. The relentless demands of the K-pop machine, the scrutiny of public life, and a quiet battle with mental health cast a shadow over them. On December 18, 2017, news broke that JONG-HYUN had been found unconscious in his Seoul apartment near a coal briquette kiln. Hours later, he was dead. In his final message to his sister, he wrote, "Please send me off. Tell me I did well." The world responded with a grief so deep it seemed to echo. Vigils took place in Seoul, Tokyo, New York, and beyond. Fans held candles, sang his songs in trembling voices, and sifted through countless memories. Interviews where he laughed until he cried, concerts where he gave his all, quiet moments where his sincerity shone through. Hashtags like "You Did Well JONG-HYUN" flooded social media, a collective effort to answer his final plea. Even now, the full truth of his pain remains elusive. Was it simply depression, or the cruel isolation of fame? Was it the exhaustion of being true to oneself in an industry that often punishes sincerity? We may never know all the answers, but perhaps the most important truth is the one he left behind. That vulnerability is not weakness, that love knows no boundaries, and that empathy can be revolutionary. For the LGBTQ+ community, JONG-HYUN's life and art were a gift. He was a leader, not just in words, but in deeds. His legacy lies not just in the records sold or the stages he conquered, but in the hearts of those who found in him a reason to keep going. JONG-HYUN's voice may no longer resonate on stage, but it lives on in headphones, in car rides, in quiet rooms where someone presses play and feels less alone. And as long as his music is heard, his message remains. It's okay to be yourself. On the evening of March 25, 2018, news broke that Seo Min-woo, the leader of boy band 100%, had been found unconscious at his home in Seoul. Emergency crews were unable to revive him. The official cause was cardiac arrest, but his sudden passing at the age of 33 was almost unbearable. He was healthy, energetic, and on the rise in his career. Rumors abounded of hidden health issues, the harsh life of an idol, years of constant pressure. But the truth, like so many in K-pop, remained hidden. To fans, Min-woo was more than just a performer. He was the solid center of 100%. As a leader, he mentored the younger members, set the pace during practice sessions, and lifted their spirits during tough times. He led warmly, not harshly, the kind of leadership that builds trust and makes people feel safe. Fans often call him the older brother of the group, approachable and trustworthy. Before 100% debuted in 2012 under Top Media, Min-woo was already a familiar face in the entertainment industry. He worked as a model, actor, and trainee, appearing in dramas, commercials, and music videos. Those years not only honed his talent, but also his resilience in an industry obsessed with perfection. When 100% debuted with Bad Boy, Min-woo's charisma was undeniable. His vocals can go from soft to powerful in the blink of an eye, perfectly matching the group's mix of graceful choreography and emotional ballads. Whether he's delivering upbeat songs like You Beauty or soulful songs like Better Day, his performances are always genuine and unforced. For the LGBTQ+ community, Min-woo's appeal goes deeper than his music. His style often blurs traditional gender lines, and his interactions with fans exude warmth without the reserved, tough guy image that many male idols often portray. That quiet acceptance makes queer fans feel seen in a space where they're often overlooked. Despite lineup changes and fierce competition in the K-pop world, Min-woo remains a mainstay. His return from military service in 2014 brought new hope to the group, leading to fresh music, tours, and a new energy. That's why his departure came as a shock to so many. There was no sign of public struggle, just the image of a man still giving his all. Some believe the physical demands of idol life after the typical debut age may have worn him out. Others point to the emotional toll of years in the public eye where frailties were hidden and rest was rare. Min-woo's life ended too soon, but he left behind more than just performances. He left behind evidence that leadership can be rooted in kindness, that art can be genuine without being showy, and that quiet acceptance can change lives. For the LGBTQ+ community and fans around the world, he was a source of strength, a gentle challenge to the world's limits. The lesson of Min-woo's story is clear. Even in the most competitive and image-driven industries, humanity matters most. Success is not measured by charts or awards, but by the lives you touch and the courage you inspire. Seo Min-woo gave his voice, his energy, and his heart to those who needed it most. His legacy is not just in the music he created, but in the courage he gave his fans to be themselves, unapologetically themselves. As we remember him, we honor his life by continuing that love, acceptance, and quiet strength. Some idols leave their mark not through controversy or headlines, but through the quiet, unwavering joy they bring to others. YOHAN, born Kim Jong-hwan, is just that. As a member of boy band TST, he has a natural energy, a smile that puts fans at ease, a warmth that makes strangers feel welcome. On stage, he doesn't just perform, he connects, letting his natural charisma shine through his every word and gesture. For the LGBTQ+ community, that openness means more than words can express. YOHAN has a playful, free-spirited style that doesn't fit into rigid definitions of masculinity. His fashion is colorful, his laugh is easygoing, and his interactions with fans are genuine. Queer fans often describe him as safe, someone whose presence makes them feel accepted without question. In a culture where representation can be rare, that authenticity has been a lifeline. Then came June 16, 2020, the day that changed everything. News broke that YOHAN had died at the age of 28. His family and agency confirmed the loss, but chose not to reveal the cause, preferring privacy in their grief. The lack of details is unusual for the fast-paced K-pop industry, where news often spreads instantly. Friends had seen him recently, healthy and full of plans. Just weeks ago, he had posted sunny vacation photos from Jeju Island, smiling under blue skies. The suddenness of it all led to heartbreaking speculation. Was it an underlying illness, a hidden mental struggle, or something else entirely? With no answers, the grief felt even heavier. It felt like an unfinished story. The days that followed became a global memorial. Fans streamed TST songs, shared clips of YOHAN laughing on variety shows, and flooded social media with messages of thanks. Many LGBTQ+ fans spoke openly about how he inspired them, not through grand gestures, but by being genuine in the small, everyday, meaningful moments. He wasn't just an entertainer on stage, he was proof that you can still be yourself and be loved. TST was never the biggest K-pop group, but YOHAN's role in the group was irreplaceable. His voice added life to the group's songs, his personality kept the team motivated during difficult promotions, and his optimism was the glue that held everyone together. Even through challenges, from lineup changes to competing with larger companies, he was a constant source of encouragement. The lesson of YOHAN's passing is one we can't ignore. You never really know the struggles someone is going through, even if they seem happy and fulfilled on the outside. His sudden passing reminds us to care for the people we love, make space for honest conversations, and make kindness a habit, not a passing thought. For the LGBTQ+ community and his fans around the world, YOHAN's legacy is not defined by the mystery of his death, but by the certainty of his life. A life that made others feel seen, appreciated, and celebrated. His story inspires us to live in ways that lift others up, embrace our authenticity without fear, and make the most of the time we have. Though his life was cut short, YOHAN brought laughter, music, and an acceptance that left no one behind. We honor him not only by remembering him, but by continuing the light he shared so freely. And perhaps the most important tribute we can pay is to ask ourselves and each other how we can ensure that no one who brought joy to the world ever feels forgotten. And this isn't just a rare coincidence. According to a 2023 report from the Korea Herald, 27% of active K-pop idols have experienced severe mental health issues, and over 60% say they've considered quitting due to emotional pressure and extreme schedules. These numbers remind us that behind the glamorous stages lies a dangerous reality, one where dreams and survival often collide. Among the rising generation of K-pop talent, SHIM-JAEHYUN is starting to find his place. With his youthful charisma, clear voice, and style that blends fresh energy with polished stage presence, he represents the next chapter of the genre. Fans call him a hidden gem, someone who could shine if given the chance. His performances aren't about dominating the stage, they're about connecting, finding ways to make even the back row feel included. For the LGBTQ+ community, JAEHYUN's appeal comes from his warmth and outgoing personality. He doesn't fit into a narrow definition of masculinity. Instead, he brings a softer charm, intimate interactions, and authenticity that's rare in the tightly scripted environment of the industry. But in early 2025, heartbreaking news shook the K-pop world. SHIM-JAEHYUN, a former member of F-ABLE, passed away at the age of 23 after a long and courageous battle with leukemia. His battle against the disease was a silent one, one that he faced silently while continuing to bring light to those around him. For his fans, this loss was not only the end of a promising career, but also the end of a story full of life and hope. His passing was shocking, not only because of his young age, but also because he represented potential. A career that was still growing, a story that was still being written. Witnessing his sudden passing reminded us that in K-pop, dreams and danger often go hand in hand. Fans have expressed their deep grief online, sharing clips from his trainee days, fan meet-and-greet moments, and behind-the-scenes footage where his personality shined brightest. Many in the LGBTQ+ community have shared the comfort they find in his openness and gentle demeanor, proof that idols can be both vulnerable and inspiring. Success in life is not only measured by how far you go, but how you take care of yourself along the way. JAEHYUN's journey reminds us that no dream is worth more than life, and that health, both physical and mental, deserves the same attention as music charts and ticket sales. As part of this video's journey, through the stories of young idols who have passed too soon, JAEHYUN's chapter is a quiet but powerful one. He may not have had the years to build a massive music career, but he left behind something no less valuable. A reminder to cherish our health, support each other, and make space for authenticity in a world that often requires masks. His voice may have been silenced, but the echoes of his kindness will live on, forever connecting him to the fans who saw him, knew him, and will never forget him. Do you feel the same sense of loss, knowing that a promising young life has been taken? If you share the pain of JAEHYUN's loss and the light he brought to the LGBTQ+ community and fans around the world, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and help us continue to tell the stories of those who gave their all to music and the people who loved them. And before you go, let us know, what country are you watching from? Please leave your answer in the comment section below. We will respond shortly. There are people who enter this world with a spark that seems destined to touch everyone they meet. Astro's multi-talented MOONBIN is one of those few souls. He's a singer, dancer, actor, and model, but above all, he's a presence you can feel even before you see him. His performances are a blend of precision and joy flowing from the heart. For fans, especially those in the LGBTQ+ community, that spark is more than just entertainment. It's a comfort that it's okay to live life to the fullest and without regrets. MOONBIN's career began early, from his childhood days as a model and actor to his debut with Astro in 2016. On stage, he's a chameleon, effortlessly transitioning from powerful, intense choreography to tender, audience-engaging moments. His smile can melt the hardest of hearts, and his professionalism has inspired a generation of aspiring idols. For many, he's more than just a performer. He's a role model and a safe haven in an often judgmental world. For the LGBTQ+ community, MOONBIN's appeal runs deep. He exudes acceptance through his warmth in his interactions with fans, his playful and unique style, his subversion of strict gender norms, and his genuine artistic sensibilities. Many queer fans say they felt seen by him. His inclusive energy, his openness, and his free-spirited presence. Then, on April 19, 2023, the world was shocked by heartbreaking news. MOONBIN had passed away at the age of 25. His agency confirmed his death, and while the exact circumstances remain a mystery, it's clear that the pressures and challenges facing idols are immense. Just days earlier, he had been preparing for upcoming concerts with Astro's MOONBIN and SUNG-JAE subunit. Friends recall his excitement about the future, making the loss all the more puzzling. The shock of his passing sparked important conversations about mental health, not just in K-pop circles, but among fans around the world. Many wondered how someone who brought so much joy could carry such heavy burdens. His story serves as a gentle reminder that everyone, no matter how bright they may appear, can be fighting invisible battles. Tributes poured in from all over the world. Fans held candlelight vigils, shared photos and videos, and wrote heartfelt letters of thanks. LGBTQ+ fans in particular shared how his kindness and sincerity helped them appreciate themselves. His absence felt like the loss of a trusted friend, someone who was always there, even from afar. Moonbin's legacy extends beyond his flawless performances and chart-topping hits. It lives on in the joy he inspired, the confidence he inspired, and the safe space he created for so many. His story calls us to care for one another, to listen without judgment, and to value humanity over perfection. Though his time here was heartbreakingly short, Moonbin's light will forever glow, in his music, in his memories, and in the countless hearts he touched. His passing is not only a personal loss for those who loved him, but a wound for the entire K-pop world, and for the world itself, which lost a rare soul whose talent and kindness could brighten even the darkest days. If you or someone you know is going through a difficult time, please reach out to friends, family, or support services. You are never alone. What are your thoughts when you think about Moonbin choosing the harshest escape? Death. And before you go, from which country are you watching this video? Leave your answer in the comments. We'll be there to read and respond to every single one. While Moonbin's passing left a void in the hearts of fans, the K-pop world has faced many such heartbreaking farewells over the years, one of which was WHEESUNG's passing. On March 11th, 2025, the K-pop and R&B world was shocked by the news that WHEESUNG, whose real name was Choi WHEESUNG, had been found dead in his home at the age of 43. Authorities said there were no signs of illness, suggesting he had suffered a sudden health issue. The official cause of death has not been confirmed, but many on social media speculated that it could be related to allegations of substance abuse stemming from the scandals that haunted him 5 years earlier. For fans, despite the rumors, the shock was still overwhelming. An artist with a rare voice and emotional depth gone without warning. His death is a heartbreaking reminder that even the most brilliant, seemingly established talents can be taken from us in the blink of an eye. WHEESUNG's career was one of transformation and mastery. Debuting in 1999 as a member of boy band A4, he soon transitioned into a solo career that established him as one of Korea's top R&B vocalists. His 2002 album, Like a Movie, ushered in a string of hits, With Me, Insomnia, Incurable Disease, that became emblematic of K-pop's golden ballad era. His vocals are both technically brilliant and emotionally raw, the kind that can fill a stadium while still sounding like he's speaking directly to himself. Among many listeners, WHEESUNG holds a special place among LGBTQ+ fans, who find his music not only melodies, but also reflections of their own inner truths. His heartfelt ballads often explore themes of longing, self-discovery, and unrequited love. Emotions all too familiar to those struggling to find their identity in a world that doesn't always understand. Though he has never openly addressed LGBTQ+ issues, many queer fans have embraced his music as an emotional haven, a soundtrack to their own personal triumphs and quiet sorrows. WHEESUNG was also known for his work ethic and versatility. He moved easily between ballads, R&B, and pop collaborations, earning the respect of his peers and younger artists alike. He mentored up-and-coming singers, shared his songwriting and production expertise, and maintained a career spanning over 2 decades, no small feat in the rapidly evolving K-pop landscape. But behind the accolades, WHEESUNG's final years were not without their challenges. He faced public scrutiny and personal struggles, some of which were magnified by the media attention. Yet he continued to perform, record, and appear on stage with the same dedication he had shown since his debut. That determination only made his sudden departure all the more heartbreaking. No goodbyes, no final tours, just a sudden silence from one of Korea's most enduring voices. The lesson from WHEESUNG's life and passing is both urgent and clear. We cannot take our health, physical or mental, for granted. In the high-pressure world of entertainment, regular breaks, self-care, and honest conversations about happiness are not luxuries, but necessities. For fans and fellow artists, his story is a call to heed the warning signs, care for one another, and see every moment as an opportunity for deep connection. WHEESUNG leaves behind more than records and awards. He leaves behind a legacy of music that continues to heal, inspire, and connect. His songs remain on the playlists of those who grew up listening to his voice and in the hearts of listeners who are discovering him for the first time. Though he is no longer here to stand in the spotlight, WHEESUNG's voice still resonates. In headphones on a quiet night, in karaoke rooms filled with friends, in the quiet strength of someone who finds courage through his lyrics. His sudden passing reminds us that time is precious, and the connections we make through art, kindness, and honesty are what last forever. Have you ever had an artist whose songs became a part of your life story? If WHEESUNG's music has touched your heart, let his memory inspire you to take care of yourself and those around you, and never let a moment of love or gratitude go unnoticed. Some artists leave behind a catalog of albums, world tours, and years of glory. Others, like Kim DONG-YOON, leave something equally powerful, a memory of potential. Just 20 years old, the former member of boy band Spectrum passed away suddenly on July 27, 2018, leaving fans shocked and mourning a life that seemed to have only just begun. His agency confirmed his death without sharing details about the circumstances, and the lack of clear answers only added to the grief. What was shocking was not only his age, but also the fact that he was relatively new to the music scene, a rising figure in K-pop whose story had largely remained untold. DONG-YOON's journey to stardom began on Mix 9, the survival reality show where trainees compete for a spot to debut. Although he didn't make the final lineup, his smile, hard work, and sincerity always stood out. Those who followed his progress often spoke of his work ethic, the way he stayed after practice sessions, the way he cheered on other contestants even when things were tough. When he joined Spectrum in 2018, it felt like a new chapter had begun, one that would pay off handsomely for that perseverance. With Spectrum's debut single, Light It Up, DONG-YOON's youthful energy shone through. He brought warmth to the group's performances, the kind of presence that doesn't always demand attention but makes the stage feel more complete. For the LGBTQ+ community, there was something quietly affirming about the way he carried himself. The gentleness of his demeanor, his willingness to connect openly with his fans, and a style that didn't rely on rigid stereotypes of what a male idol should look like. It wasn't a loud statement. He was simply being himself, and for many queer fans, that was enough. When news of his passing broke just 2 months after Spectrum debuted, the K-pop world seemed to pause for a moment. It was hard to reconcile the image of the energetic young man in his recent performances with the headlines about his death. While the official details remain under wraps, his story has become part of a larger conversation about the hidden pressures that trainees and young idols face, from grueling schedules to the emotional toll of living in a world where every move is scrutinized, yet the struggles are often kept private. The pain of losing DONG-YOON is not just about losing an artist. It's about losing the ability to be all that he could have been. Fans mourn the songs he never wrote, the stages he never walked on, and the stories he never told. In online tributes, people have shared practice clips, fan meet photos, and anecdotes about how he always smiled and greeted everyone, even on the hardest days. From his brief time in the public eye, DONG-YOON left us with a profound lesson. Every dreamer, young or promising, carries a burden that we may not see. His story is a reminder to be gentle with one another, celebrate the small victories along the way, and be candid about the challenges behind the spotlight. For the LGBTQ+ community and fans around the world, his memory remains a quiet encouragement that sincerity, even in a brief moment, can have a lasting impact. Kim Dong-Yoon's time with us may have been brief, but his sincerity for his art and his fans is indelible. He may not have had the years to build a lasting legacy, but the fire he lit will continue to burn brightly in the hearts of those who saw the real him. Every K-pop era has its brightest stars, but only a few shine so brightly that they take the industry by surprise. In the mid-1990s, that star was Kim Sung-Jae. As part of the groundbreaking duo Dae, he was more than just a rising star in Korean pop. He helped define the genre. With a talent for fusing the raw energy of hip-hop with the smooth elegance of R&B, Sung-Jae brought a whole new vibe to the scene. His presence was magnetic, drawing listeners in from the first notes. Many believed he was destined for a career that would define an era, but fate had other plans. On November 20, 1995, just one day after his highly anticipated solo debut, he was found dead in a hotel room. He was just 23 years old, on the brink of a new artistic chapter that would never be written. The official report said he had suffered heart failure, but details soon emerged that deepened the mystery. Authorities discovered traces of a lethal animal anesthetic in his body, along with 28 injections, raising suspicions of foul play and leaving unanswered questions about what really happened. His close ties to powerful people were investigated, brought to trial, but later cleared up. The case remained unsolved, leaving fans silently grieving for decades. Although his death remains shrouded in mystery, Sung-Jae's talent has never faded. He belonged to a daring generation, unafraid to break safe, predictable norms. He pushed boundaries with his bold fashion sense, eclectic choreography, and genre-bending style that would come to define modern K-pop. For the LGBTQ+ community, his presence was a quiet inclusivity. Without openly proclaiming it, he broke the mold of traditional masculinity, brought emotional vulnerability to the forefront, and boldly expressed himself. For queer fans, it was more than just a performance. It was recognition in an era where such representation was rare. His debut solo single, As I Told You, remains one of the most iconic songs in Korean pop history. Watch footage from his first and only solo performance and you'll see it all. The sharp, confident dance moves, the smooth, resonant vocals, and the natural charisma of a man poised to redefine what a K-pop star could be. It's that undeniable promise that makes his passing all the more tragic. This wasn't a happy ending to a long career. It was an abrupt, rushed end to a story that hadn't even begun. In the years since his death, Kim Sung-Jae has become a legend. Young artists have taken him up as an inspiration. Fans, old and new, have kept his voice alive in playlists, covers, and tribute stages. Documentaries have told his story, while online communities are still piecing together the pieces of that night, hoping to find the truth. For many, especially LGBTQ+ fans who identify with his boldness, remembering Sung-Jae is more than just nostalgia. It's a celebration of a man who dared to be true to himself when conformity seemed like the safer path. From his life and loss, a heartbreaking truth emerges. No matter how many years have passed, justice still matters. truth still matters. And so does the courage to be yourself, even when the world isn't ready. Kim Sung-Jae's voice may have been silenced too soon, but his influence resonates in every artist who took a risk, in every performance that challenged the norm, and in every fan who found strength in that defiance. As we close this journey through the lives of young idols, Sung-Jae's story remains one of the most haunting in K-pop history, a tale of brilliance, mystery, and enduring pain. His life reminds us to cherish the artists we love while they're still alive, to demand the truth when there's doubt, and to create a world where no one has to hide who they are. Do you believe the truth about his passing will soon be revealed? Thank you for staying with us until the end of this journey. Tonight, we've walked through stories filled with joy, dreams, and heartache. Stories of young K-pop idols whose light was extinguished too soon, leaving behind questions that may never be fully answered. But beyond all the mystery and pain, there is something greater. The love they gave, the courage they showed, and the way they touched our lives. If you've ever felt the pain of their loss or seen your own struggles reflected in their journeys, know this: you're not alone. Let their memories remind us to cherish the people we have today, to speak kind words while we can, and to protect the hearts behind the music we love. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for remembering them with us. If you share this memory, if you feel their influence still resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell, so that together we can keep their stories alive.